Alright everyone, this is it, the big one. I had to make the biggest decisions I have to make. That's why the video is a bit delayed, but without a doubt and without further ado, these are the top games of the 2010s that I have played and fully experienced. There's a few of them that I kind of nearly got like 50 to 75 to nearly 80% of full experience, but this is my list, mine. I'll repeat myself this. You might see a few games that are going to be appearing on this part over here. So please understand, I'm recording this out of my iPhone and due to storage problems. So without further ado, here's the list. Coming in at number 30, yep, as I said, you're going to see two games at once. Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 5. Okay, whoa, easy there. Why? Okay, I'll start why. Street Fighter 5 at launch, yes, it was very disappointing. The roster, 16 characters at launch, and we only have a survival mode, online mode, and then playing against friends mode. That's it. But down the line, we got more characters, we got arcade mode, we got a story mode. With the first time you're going to play it's meh, but the second time you're going to play it's like, okay, this is actually not that bad. But in the end, it was a great fighting game. The fighting combat was actually really cool. Easy to learn combos, so new fans can approach the franchise and to give it a shot. And it's a great looking game. Even despite how the way it looked like back in the day, they did fix how the way the game looks, and it's a lot more enhanced. Yeah, adding in a few new characters, despite a few bad things though, but the game was still a solid entry though in the franchise, and it deserves to be on the list. And same thing with Tekken 7. Tekken 7, this was actually my first approach and my first time owning and trying out Tekken. And to be honest, I was terrible. Really terrible. But later down the line, I practiced a lot and I got the hang of it though. Despite the campaign mode is actually good, but my god, it is punishing. The story mode is so punishing. And in the end, it was great combat, had a great roster, adding in Akuma from Street Fighter, Geese Howard from King of Fighters, or Fatal Fury if you want to call it that, Noctis Lucis Callum from Final Fantasy 15, Negan from The Walking Dead. Who's next? I have for sure that Bandai Namco is going to give it another shot and add in just one more DLC characters, and I don't know, let's see what they'll do. But here, Tekken 7 was a fun game, and it's definitely worth playing out. Alright, coming in at number 29, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Just to let you guys know, I don't have a Wii U or the Nintendo Switch, since they have the definitive edition there. But I do have Donkey Kong Country 3D Returns 3D for the 3DS. This is an amazing game, and also, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was an improvement to the other game. Well, they're both amazing games, but Tropical Freeze, to me, in my opinion, was actually one of my favorites. The soundtrack was amazing. The composer, David Wise, returns from the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy to compose this, and it's a masterpiece. And the levels, some say that there was not many levels that were integrated in this game, but the levels were a lot more longer than the previous Donkey. And also having in penguins, Vikings, and many iconic boss battles that you have in this game, it was actually amazing. And what's so cool is that you go through places like in the safari, which reminded me of the Lion King, the underwater segments where the music just, oh man, it's so beautiful and it sounds amazing. And then bring in Cranky Kong and Dixie Kong in the roster, which is amazing. Sign me up. And also, if you have the Switch version, you have Funky Kong to pretty much make things easier for you. So, and with that, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze deserves to be on the list. Alright, to give you guys a bit of a notice, I am a huge fan of the franchise. And this was actually my first time trying it out. Far Cry 3 was, to me, one of my favorite games of 2012. And here's the reason why. Boss Montenegro was an absolute amazing villain, but what sucks is that he kind of gets a bit sidelined more than halfway through in the game. But the jungle, the island that you go through, and the first person mechanics and how the way you explore areas, skin animals so you can increase your ammo, to hold more guns, to at least have everything at your arsenal to pretty much just face against the boss's mercenaries, and also against Hoyt's mercenaries. To me, this game was absolutely an amazing time, and I am a huge Far Cry fan. As you can see, I got 4, Primal, 5. I don't have New Dawn yet, but I'll get it soon enough. But to me, it was an amazing game, and I would say that this was Ubisoft's crowning achievement, and without Ubisoft, you guys did an amazing job. And I cannot wait for Far Cry 6. Just please take us to pretty much to Mexico, and with that, I'm looking forward to that. This, to me, was Capcom's crowning achievement and helped them out financially, and that is Monster Hunter World. This is the first time I got into Monster Hunter. I did try out Generations. I wasn't really into it because I was hitting the monster. It didn't want to go down, and I'm like, seriously, go down. How many times do I have to hit you with the sword? Finally, this one tests your patience and tests your luck. Just make sure not to get too cocky with, again, going against the monsters. But to be honest, this was Capcom's crowning achievement. This game sold 14.1 million copies as of today. I think it's going even more further since Iceborne has came out. Haven't had a chance to do that. But to me, slaying down monsters was absolutely satisfying. Take your time. Just don't rush it, though. Even though you have like a timer limit, like around 50 minutes. But that's completely sufficient. And slaying down monsters, wearing its skins. Yes, it sounds a little bit wrong, though. But it's not too gruesome like Resident Evil. And also weaponizing your weapons, adding in giant swords, which is which is my favorites, the saw blade, the dual swords, everything. To me, this is one of my favorite Monster Hunter games, and I'll say this to you, Capcom. Take your time with Monster Hunter World 2. Release it somewhere between 2022 or 2023. Take it easy with Iceborne with its expansions. I want you guys to have fresh minds, fresh ideas, and I know you're relying on this too much because this was your crowning achievement, and this one helped you out financially so you guys won't close your doors. And thankfully, this helped you all out. This is a fun game, but for those who are thinking about trying this game out, just be patient, learn the monster's attacks and its weaknesses, and with that, you're good. And a word of advice, Capcom, please do not bring back Lunastra. Do not bring back Basilgeuse. I hate it when he interferes in the fights. Don't bring back Kushala Dwara. I hate that monster. And do not bring back Behemoth. I hate that monster. Ugh! It tested my patience, and I lost so many times against him. He's a pain in the ass. Even fighting against it alone is not even worth it. Monster Hunter World, crowning achievement. Congratulations, Capcom. You deserve it, but take it easy. Alright? Alright, coming in at number 26, Sonic and AllStars Racing Transformed. Okay, this, to me, was absolutely one of my favorite kart racers back in 2012. One of my favorites. And to me, yes, I did play Team Sonic Racing. I put this on my top 10 list. But to me, the real definitive addition to the Sonic and AllStars Racing game has to go with Sonic and AllStars Racing Transformed. And here's the reason why. There were moments in the game where, I'm in the carts, I'm going to get in the water, what am I going to do, what am I going to do, what am I going to do? Oh, it turns into a boat. Awesome, here we go. And then after that, you're going to be sailing up on the sky. There's nothing underneath. What do? It transforms into a plane, which is a lot of fun. Has a great roster, has Sonic, Shadow, Tails, Knuckles, many of the Sega characters that you might know and love, Shinobi, Skies of Arcadia, and many other Sega mascots that I pretty much am asking Sega to please bring back soon enough, because as much I love you, Sega, but please bring back those Sega mascots. Don't rely so much on Sonic and Yakuza so much, but please bring a new game back from those games because I miss them. And come on, kids, stop playing Fortnite. Try these games out. Sonic and AllStars Racing Transformed to me was a fun experience. Is a great arcade racer. Has a lot of great set-piece moments, especially when your vehicle transforms into so many different versions, which is absolutely amazing. Give this one a shot because it's definitely one of the funnest and greatest racers I have played. And give it a shot, please. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. Coming in at number 25 is Cuphead. These guys from Studio MDHR did an amazing job. The 1930s cartoon looked absolutely beautiful, and the game had really rare delays, and we heard very little bit of that. But seeing its full release back in 2017 was an absolute masterpiece. This game is fun, and this is definitely a game that Konami shouldn't have done years ago, but pretty much Studio MDHR kept us Contra fans, and same thing with Metal Slug fans up into check. And it's a fun game, it has great boss battles, has great moments, and definitely seeing Cuphead, that's pretty much a sort of ripoff of Mickey Mouse, which is fine though. And then you get to see so many scenes that you're gonna be like, that's Tom and Jerry, that's from Disney, that's from, it has so many of it, and it's amazing. But my God, sometimes it can pretty much cause you to lose your mind. This game can kick your ass. But it's definitely worth it. Why? Because when you take down that boss, you're going to scream with, let's just say, with frustration, but at the same time with full victory, despite many attempts that you go against these boss battles and all the platforming sections, which is actually a lot of fun. I cannot wait to see what Studio MDHR has next. I hope they're working on Cuphead too, because I really am looking forward to see what they're going to be doing next, since Cuphead is now pretty much officially in Smash, and which is really amazing. But it's not a Smash character, he's one of the gunners, but it's absolutely amazing how the way they detailed him. And wow, I cannot wait to see what Studio MDHR has next. And thank you, Masahiro Sakurai, for adding in Cuphead and Smash. Alright then, coming in at number 24, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Okay, I'm not going to get too into controversy, but this is to me Hideo Kojima's greatest crowning achievements that he has made during the 2010s. A stealth open world game, which is absolutely amazing. Has a great but weird story. The performances by Kiefer Sutherland, who portrayed Snake, replacing David Hayter from the Metal Gear series, was absolutely amazing. The graphics in this game was really good, 60 frames per second, which made the game run really smoothly. But to me, this was a fun game, and it was a crowning achievement for Hideo Kojima. Let's just see what happens here, because Konami pretty much just doesn't care anymore, because they fired Hideo Kojima for no apparent reason, and Konami just pretty much just doesn't care anymore. I don't know what's going to happen from here, but the Metal Gear series has gone downhill ever since Metal Gear Survive. I just hope the Metal Gear series gets, I don't know, like I hope somebody out there who loves the Metal Gear series can pretty much can do justice to the game, and I want to see what they're going to be doing next. So, Metal Gear Solid 5 to me is Hideo Kojima's greatest open world stealth game. Great story despite its complications. Alright, coming in at number 23, okay, here's another tie. Uncharted 4, Among Thieves' End, and The Last of Us. Oh, okay, whoa, everybody, calm down. Calm down. Everybody, take it easy. I don't own a PlayStation. I don't. I did got my hands on the game, both of them. And wow, it was awesome, but I didn't get my full experience. But it does deserve to be here on the list, and here's the reason why. Let's begin with The Last of Us. A great story between Joel and Ellie, then their adventure going cross-country through clicker apocalypse and to all that's going on. It's absolutely amazing. It has a bunch of great set-piece moments. The performances by Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson was absolutely one of the greatest parts of the game. And the gameplay was absolutely amazing. It tests your luck and it tests your own knowledge to see how you take down the clickers and the rest of the monsters that get in your way. It was absolutely amazing. And to me, it was Naughty Dog's crowning achievement. And then later on down the line, Naughty Dog did release 3 years later Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. And to me, it was the best ending for Nathan Drake's adventure. Meaning it reuniting with his old brother from back in his past. And then having his adventure once again, now that he went from his life, from pretty much just working at a regular office, and then later on just going down to treasure hunting just one last time in order to help out his brother with the debt that he has though. So with that, to me, it was a great adventure. And then Nolan North nailed it out of the park with his performance. Same thing with Troy Baker once again as his brother. And I really wish I can get this fully experience this game. But what sucks, I don't own a PlayStation 4, so go easy on me, guys. But it does deserve to be here on the list. And Uncharted 4, Thief's End is Game of the Year of 2016. And The Last of Us, sort of, but we'll get to that one later on. This goes to you, Arturo. Minecraft. Minecraft is, to me, a great game back in 2010. This was actually Mojang's actually crowning achievement. And to me, this guy became an absolute billionaire with this game. And to me, how the way the world looks and how the way it functions, it's just, it's amazing. And adding in some mods and different other things, and people decorating their own type of Minecraft, Disneyland, Legoland, many other things, and you can even add your own Super Mario World out of the Minecraft. You can go crazy with this, and to me, this was Mojang's most profitable game, and it's the most selling game of the series, and it's definitely the most funnest game that you ever have. It's still 10 years later, this game is still going strong, and with that, it deserves to be on the list. And this is for you, Arturo. This game to me is Game of the Year. And to me, it was absolutely Mojang's crowning achievement. Here we go. More stuff in 2016. So here we go. This was absolutely one of the most. The sequel that came out for one game that came out in 2014. Really did concern fans, but to me, after playing it, I was like, it's not bad, but I was actually really looking forward to the sequel. So with that, trying out Watch Dogs 2 and Watch Dogs 1 was absolutely a lot of fun. But to me, the most improved game in the series has to be Watch Dogs 2. This game was really overlooked, and fans were really hammering down this game. And yes, this game had its own faults, especially Aiden Pierce being a bit of a disappointing character, and things that were pretty much promoted wasn't actually, like, you know, acknowledged in there. But to me, this one made much more improvements. Marcus was a more likable character. His friends were absolutely one of the most highlights, though. Wrench, and then this guy was always like, if you know who I'm talking about. And had a great moments. The hacking in the game was more intuitive, going to moments where you get to, like, you know, explore fictional Google, or how they call it, Noodle, invade their offices, and you do many funny things that happens in the game. Controlling a Hollywood car and then just going crazy out of it too, to pretty much give a message to anyone who pretty much just friends all the hackers and stuff like that. To me, that was absolutely amazing. And I gotta say, this was Ubisoft's actually great game, but what sucks is it got overlooked and everybody was hammering down. But to me, guys, give this game a try, because I really am looking forward to Watch Dogs Legion. But Watch Dogs 2, to me, was one of my favorite games in the series, and I actually cannot wait for Legion. And all I can say is that it deserves to be on the list. And 2016, that's not the only 2016 game that just came out too, because 2016 had a bunch of iconic games, and we'll get to that later on. So yes, Watch Dogs 2 deserves to be on the list. Watch Dogs 1, mention, which is fine. I am a huge Capcom fan, as you can see. I did explore Monster Hunter, but let's not forget about Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 2. I will leave this one too as an honorable mention. This one was a fun game too, but these two were absolutely amazing. Let's first begin with Resident Evil 7. The first-person perspective may caught everyone off guard. A few Resident Evil characters that pretty much that everybody missed out though, which they missed it though. Chris Redfield does show up in the very end, which is really cool, and you get to play as him in the DLC. Was really cool. Jack Baker was an amazing villain, and man, how the way he was chasing you down from beginning, and then later on comes back and tries to kill you again, and then the DLC, he comes back again and just goes completely crazy. I love the story, and yes, some say that Ethan was a bit of a disappointing character, but to me, later on, playing it many times, he grew on me, and I liked him. And Mia going crazy, and then the crazy plot twist that happens in the game, especially with the monsters that you fight against in the game, which terrifying. In the first-person perspective, I absolutely liked it, and I hope this does get re-explored in Resident Evil 8. We'll get to that right now in a little bit, though, because I want to talk about another game, too, because this was actually my recent Game of the Year of 2019, and this is Resident Evil 2 Remake. Yes, this is a remake, I understand, but many things were changed in this game, and there was a few things that they added that were completely new to the game, and oh my gosh, the survival horror gear was pushed to its limits, and yes, it's in third person, and everybody wants third person to come back, but I do want to see first person make a return on Resident Evil 8, and since Resident Evil 3 is right around the corner, I just hope Capcom continues on with the horror franchise, because this is actually one of their crowning achievements, especially Resident Evil 7, and hearing Mr. X's footsteps chasing you and the boss battles against Sherry Birkin's father, it was just terrifying, and I had a fun time, and I cannot wait for Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 8. Take your time, Capcom. If you have to delay Resident Evil 3, I don't mind. But please, take your time with Resident Evil 8 and please give us the first-person perspective. I know you want to go to third-person, but no. Keep Resident Evil 7, 8, and 8 first-person, please. But if you want to add third-person, go right ahead. I don't mind. But please, I want to keep it in first-person because it felt fresh and how the way its new take was, I liked it. So with that, it deserves to be on the list. Alright, this is another game too that's also 2-in-1. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Ubisoft keeps winning me over with their open world games, and wow. Let's first begin with Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Okay, Assassin's Creed Black Flag was to me one of my favorite open world pirate games I have ever played. Despite having some moments where you go stealth mode and just pretty much sneak in and hear the conversation what they're going to be doing next, and at times saying down pirates can get a bit tedious, but then later on it'll wear off because going through so many fun moments, shooting down pirates and taking over the seas, which is an absolute amazing time, and I was absolutely ecstatic of how good this game was. And to me, this was absolutely one of my favorite open world pirate games I've ever played. And to me, Ubisoft, you nailed it out of the park. But Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is my third favorite game in the series, and Assassin's Creed Black Flag is the second best game in the series, but this one's third. First place, Assassin's Creed 2, without a doubt. But this one, wow. The open world RPG and then exploring Sparta, taking down Athens, and playing as either Alexios or Cassandra. I went with Cassandra. She's beautiful, and my gosh, she knows how to fight. Same thing with Alexios, but I went with Cassandra even more. I'm still playing this game as of today, and I have so much to do in this game, and it's just completely crazy because there's many decisions that will affect your reputation there, and there's many situations that will affect the story. It's not as big as Fallout or The Witcher, but I hope soon enough in the future, maybe in Assassin's Creed Ragnarok, which is the next game, I hope they go even further, and I hope things that whatever you do have a huge impact, even though we have Cyberpunk 2077 competing against it. But let's see how it goes, because Assassin's Creed Odyssey was, to me, Ubisoft's crowning achievement right next to Black Flag. And to me, both those games deserve to be on the list. And Ubisoft, yes, you deserve it. I'm not really a huge Final Fantasy fan, but Final Fantasy 15, the reason why I bought this is because Final Fantasy 15 took the hack and slash approach. And I bought it, and wow. Wow. This game was absolutely amazing. Beautiful, and at 30 frames per second, everybody might complain that it runs at 30 frames per second. I was cool with it, but the story was good. The relationship between Noctis, Gladio, Ignis, and Prompto was absolutely one of the greatest highlights in the game. The open world segments, yes, there can be a bit tedious where you can pretty much just drive like in a very linear way, but if you upgrade yourself to the tires or make your car fly up, which is an absolutely amazing thing and an absolutely amazing feature, and taking down monsters and taking down missions, I kind of fully 100% of the game, but I didn't get the DLC, which kind of sucks, but I did fully 100% of this game, and I don't know if I'm going to purchase the DLC if I want to, because this game to me was an absolute amazing hack and slash I've played, and I cannot wait to see what they have in store for Final Fantasy VII, but what sucks is that I don't have a PS4, and it does take the hack and slash approach, but I don't know. And Final Fantasy 16, I don't know when that's coming out, maybe 2023, 2020, or 2025. I don't know. I'm completely calling it here because Square Enix takes their time with their games. They do. Oh, come on, Square Enix. Like, I don't want to be that type of gamer that says, like, hurry up. No. Guys, come on. How long do you guys have to do to make this game? Like, what's going on in the office? I want to know. I really want to know. But without a doubt, Final Fantasy 15 deserves to be on the top list. Alright then, I rented this game, I'm going to get it soon, but this game was absolutely one of my favorite games of 2016, and that is Doom. Wow, this game is balls to the wall, insane asylum gameplay that would keep your heart pumping from the beginning all the way to the very end, and man, it's hell on... I was going to say hell on earth, but that's happening in the sequel. But it's hell in Mars and hell in hell. And wow, and then playing as the very ferocious Doom guy, and then having in your sawed-off shotgun, your machine gun with micro missiles, and with the Gatling gun, you can go even crazy going against the demons. And while they're flashing blue, you can pretty much melee attack them, and you're finishing off in very stylistic, gorish ways. And it is so good. And I hope Doom Eternal does that too. But Doom to me was one of my favorite first-person shooters that I have played in 2016, and it is balls to the wall, insane fun. Please try out the game because it deserves to be on my list, and it deserves to be, excuse me, I got the burp, on your list, because Doom was absolutely one of my favorite games that I ever played, and it's definitely one of id Software's crowning achievements. And I hope Doom Eternal makes some improvements, because Doom did suffer a bit on the multiplayer stuff and some moments of the campaign. But let's see how crazy they're going to go with this one, because from the looks of it, it's going to be insane. So I cannot wait. All right then, this one is another one that came out that I just reviewed recently a while ago. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I'll put in an honorable mention for Star Wars Battlefront 2, despite having a rough launch, but later on making improvements and fixing all the microtransactions stuff. But here, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was to me a great game. And an absolute one of the second best Star Wars games. I heard the Old Republic's like the best one, but to me, I'll try that game soon enough. I don't know when, but maybe soon. But Star Wars Jedi was an absolutely fun game. Cal Kestis was a very likable character. BD-1 was so adorable. Very adorable, right next to Baby Yoda. And the characters they fight against, and fighting against the second sister, which is absolutely the highlight. And that final cameo in that end, which just blew my mind. And I was like, oh, yes! And it was amazing. And I cannot wait to see what Respawn has to do next. But I'm going to give you a bit of a warning. EA, it doesn't need microtransactions. And please give Respawn time. If they need to patch the game and if they need to polish a little bit more, let them. Please. And don't rely on them so much. You got DICE, BioWare, which they messed up twice. But I hope that with Dragon Age 4, they managed to fix themselves up. And then everything else too. And then the EA Sports. And by the way, guys, go easy on microtransactions. It doesn't deserve to be on Star Wars Jedi. And this is, to me, Star Wars Jedi was a fun single-player experience that I cannot wait to see what they're going to be doing next. And with that, it deserves to be on my list. And yeah, guys, this is the first part because I still got 15 more games left. Man, I got a bunch of editing to do. So with that in mind, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.